Jackie Rodriguez and Elliot Rodriguez, only on South Florida's CBS 4 News.
Confronting the president, the Senate joins the House in voting for a U.S. troop withdrawal from Iraq. A powerful storm sweeps through Southern California, knocking out power to tens of thousands. And San Francisco says bag it, just not in plastic. This is the CBS Morning News for Wednesday, March 28th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meg Oliver in for Susan McGinnis. It's a test of wills in Washington. The Senate has joined the House in passing a bill calling for the removal of U.S. troops from Iraq. President Bush has promised to veto it, but there's a catch. Tracy Strahan is in Washington with more. Good morning, Tracy.
Well, Meg, good morning. Republican attempts to block the pullout timeline may have failed, but so far the White House isn't giving any ground on their plan to stop Congress from setting a date of March 2008 for troop withdrawal, with President Bush already promising that the bill has no chance of becoming law. It took weeks of wrangling, but the Senate is now behind a timeline to bring U.S. troops home from Iraq.
The yeas are 48. The nays are 50.
In a vote largely along party lines, Democrats beat back a Republican attempt to strip the withdrawal timeline out of the war funding bill. While final passage of the legislation won't happen until later today or tomorrow, it will include a call for all U.S. combat forces to be out of Iraq by next March. The House passed a similar bill last week.
When it comes to the war in Iraq, the American people have spoken. The House and the Senate have spoken. Now we hope the president is listening.
A statement from the White House renewed the president's veto threat. On the Senate floor, Republican presidential hopeful John McCain called the withdrawal timeline a plan for failure.
For the sake of America's vital national security interests, what we must not do is to give up just at the moment we're starting to turn things around in Iraq.
Democrats prevailed with the help of 3 Republican senators.
There are 3 co-equal branches of government. It is now time for the Congress to step forward after a disastrous 4 years in Iraq.
Undeterred by the veto threat, the Democratic leadership calls this vote a first step in turning up the heat on the president's war policies. The president is expected to use a speech today to say it's dangerous to let Washington politics delay funding for operations in Iraq. Meg?
Tracy Strahan in Washington, thank you. A hostage standoff in the Philippines involving a busload of young children. A daycare center owner and another person hijacked the bus, demanding better housing and education for the children. 31 children and 2 teachers are being held. The hijackers are said to have grenades and guns. White House spokesman Tony Snow is battling cancer for the 2nd time. Snow is recovering from surgery and is expected to begin chemotherapy soon. Bill Plant reports.
White House spokesman Tony Snow called President Bush from his hospital bed with bad news. The cancer he thought he had beaten 2 years ago was back.
His attitude is one that he is not going to let this whip him. And he's upbeat.
It was last week when Snow got emotional as he wished Elizabeth Edwards well in her own fight with cancer.
Good going, our prayers are with you.
And then, just a day later, revealed that he would be taking a leave for exploratory surgery.
We have found a small growth in my lower abdomen.
Snow was diagnosed with colon cancer 2 years ago. His entire colon was removed, and he had 6 months of chemotherapy. Recently, scans of his pelvic area revealed a small growth, described as the size of the tip of a pinky finger. His doctor said it was cancer, that it has spread to other locations and is attached to his liver.
I think it's important to know that it can be treated successfully if it is a small amount that's gone to the liver, if it's localized in certain sections of the liver, and if he gets the right treatment.
His deputy says Snow told her that he intends to begin chemotherapy just as soon as his body can take it.
Someone may do fine with surgery. Sometimes someone does perfectly well with chemotherapy. It really depends upon the amount of disease that has gone to the liver and where it's distributed.
Snow started out writing newspaper editorials and became a commentator and program host for Fox News. But he says the White House job is the best one he's ever had. In his words, a communications Disneyland. Snow sent word that he intends fully to return to his dream job here at the White House. His deputy says that he's very focused on the president's current struggles with Congress. She also said that he gave the staff marching orders before he hung up the phone. Bill Plant, CBS News, the White House.
Wild weather in parts of the country on Tuesday. Thunderstorms caused flash flooding in Macomb County in eastern Michigan. Water climbed more than a foot around some cars. There were also reports of basements being flooded. Fortunately, this area near Detroit should dry out today. Meantime, Texas is expected to get another pounding today. On Tuesday, heavy rain caused flash flooding in the northeastern part of the state. Stranded drivers had to be rescued by emergency workers in a pickup truck. Tornadoes are possible today. And talk about wild weather in Southern California. Dave Clark of our Los Angeles station KCBS reports.
In Valley Village, an 80-foot Chinese elm tree ripped out of the ground and slammed into this house. No match for the wind gusts. In Huntington Beach, a sandstorm. Riding a bike, walking the boardwalk, even standing on the beach or just trying to breathe was treacherous, all because of the wind.
It's really windy, and so sand's getting in my face, so I put my hood on and tightened it, and tied it, and it's keeping the sand out of my face.
In the city of Commerce, power lines and antennas snapped into pieces right along these train tracks. In Big Bear, the storm brought snow to play in, drive in, and get stuck in.
We knew it might snow a little bit, but when we looked out and woke up this morning, it was crazy. It was like a blizzard. It was blowing sideways.
Sheriff's rescue boats in Newport Bay had more than 24 rescue calls and 4 capsized boats, including members of the UC Irvine crew team.
One of the first calls we got was a UCI crew boat, an outrigger with 8 females on board that was capsized off of Harbor Island. So we responded to that, and we see oars floating all over the place. Girls are hanging onto the boat.
And the winds even ripped the roof off of the Orange County Fire Authority in Fullerton. The cars in the parking lot below took the brunt of it. For a time, thousands of homes and businesses lost electrical power because of this windstorm, which came and went with a vengeance. In Long Beach, California, Dave Clark for CBS News.
Just ahead on the morning news, investors await big economic news from the Fed today, and San Francisco becomes the first city in the nation to ban plastic grocery bags. First, Katie Couric with a preview of tonight's CBS Evening News.
Hi there. On our second special broadcast about cancer, we'll look at the controversies surrounding funding, why some projects get money and others get cut. Cancer, cures, costs, and controversies tonight on the CBS Evening News. We hope to see you then.
This portion of the CBS Morning News sponsored by Kellogg's Special K cereal.
Welcome to Now. Now is like a scary movie, because now is that dangerous time of night when you fall victim to chocolate temptations lurking in the kitchen. Good thing you know, there's a nighttime snack you don't have to be afraid of. Introducing Special K Chocolatey Delight cereal. With ice-cold milk, it's a lower-calorie snack that won't undo your whole day. What's the difference between indulging and overindulging? Now you know, the difference is K. Go to Yahoo and search Special K for more chocolatey snacks.
I don't understand why we're using the kiosk while everyone else is waiting in line.
Well, because no one knows about it yet, Mo. We're ahead of the curve.
I don't know, Al. My inner herd instinct is telling me to stay with the group.
Just stay here while I get the car.
Stay, or go. I'm gonna go.
Mo! The new kiosk from Alamo. Fight your herd instinct. Skip the line.
I'm not the greatest guy at laundry, I'll admit it. I definitely think if they were having a sale, I would get the washer and dryer.
You want it, you got it. Right now, all washers and dryers are on sale at Sears.
They're unbelievable machines. They're so beautifully engineered. They just clean and dry as thoroughly as you can imagine.
Plus, no interest and no payments for 12 months with your Sears card. And get free delivery on any home appliance over $3.99. Even better, take an extra 10% off when you buy a laundry pair.
A sale like this is a very beautiful thing.
Through Friday. Sears.
Work, stress, thinking about tomorrow.
I just can't sleep.
Put it all away the Unisom way. It's clinically proven to get you to sleep and into your healthy sleep cycle faster so you can wake up refreshed. Get ready to take on your day the Unisom way.
The CBS Money Watch concern about the housing market sent stocks tumbling on Tuesday. Alexis Christoforous has the latest numbers in today's business news.
Investors will be watching Capitol Hill today as Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke testifies before the Joint Economics Committee. Bernanke is expected to be asked about the subprime mortgage market and the overall housing market. Wall Street will be looking for any clues that troubles in the housing market are dragging down the rest of the economy. Meantime, home prices continue to fall. The S&P's housing index for January found single-family home prices fell the most in more than 13 years, down about 1%. That put pressure on stocks. The Dow tumbled nearly 72 points. The Nasdaq gave back 18 points. The defense contractor ITT has agreed to pay the government a $100 million fine after admitting it sold classified night vision technology to China. ITT is the first major contractor convicted of violating the Arms Export Control Act. The company will be able to recoup some of that fine by investing in development of more advanced night vision technology. And it's not a happy moment for Kodak. The company facing expulsion resigned from the Council of Better Business Bureaus. The organization says Kodak refused to provide information about the resolution of nearly 200 consumer complaints. But Kodak says it left because the Better Business Bureau didn't do anything about so-called inaccurate postings on its website. Kodak is the first company to leave the council. That's your Money Watch. In New York, I'm Alexis Christoforous.
San Francisco is about to become the first major city to ban plastic bags at large grocery stores. Manuel Ramos of our San Francisco station KPIX reports.
The plastic grocery bag is being blown out of town, and San Francisco shoppers say they won't miss it.
I think it's good. I think the environment needs to get greener.
The fact that they can't be recycled and just kind of the waste that they make, and you see them flying around all the time on the streets.
Major grocery stores with annual retail sales of $2 million have until October to switch to something that dissolves easier. Large pharmacies have until next year.
Just like many other countries have already done this in cities in other countries, they've either banned plastic bags altogether, levied a very high fee, or have sought an alternative like a biodegradable bag.
Small retailers will be exempt because getting away from plastic is expensive.
This is a compostable bag. This one's made out of cornstarch, but they're also made out of potato starch. So this is kind of the wave of the future.
But right now, the biodegradable bag costs 5 cents. The plastic bag, a little more than a penny.
The reason the grocery stores love them is they're incredibly cheap. The problem is, as a city, they're incredibly expensive. They're costing us more than $8 million a year to clean them up and deal with their side issues.
And supervisors were swayed by this argument. More than 100 million bags are handed out each year in San Francisco. It took 430,000 gallons of petroleum to make them. Eliminating the bags would be like taking 140,000 cars off the street for one day.
It's the wave of the future. The end of the cheap oil era is here. That's not going to reverse itself. Global warming is here.
But the large grocery chains say it doesn't make any sense to solve a global problem by singling out stores in San Francisco. Environmentalists believe the ban will start blowing across the country like one of those plastic grocery bags. In San Francisco, I'm Manuel Ramos for CBS News.
Still to come, your Wednesday morning weather and in sports. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers fall back to earth.
I've always wanted a farm, like my grandparents used to have, with a stable, you know, for the horses. A place where everyone can get together. Kids, grandkids, all my cousins, the whole family. And then pass it on to all the generations that come after me.
You once made a promise to yourself about your future. At John Hancock, we have the products you need to help build, protect, and sustain the future you've always wanted. John Hancock, the future is yours.
It's your plane. Do what you wanna do. It's the Get Carried Away sale at Pier 1. Right now, save up to 50% throughout the store. With savings this big, you're gonna need a really big bag. Only at Pier 1.
Denny's works for me because I'm in love with their French toast. That's okay, right?
It's perfectly normal. Denny's new Mega French Toast Slam. One of 3 mega breakfasts, just $5.99. Denny's.
Works for me.
Recently, some allergy decongestants chose to change their formula to stay in the aisle. Claritin D chose not to change.
Thank you, Claritin D.
So now you'll find Claritin D behind the pharmacy counter.
Thank you, Claritin D, for staying tough on the toughest allergy symptoms.
For refusing to change your formula.
Nothing works stronger, faster, or longer to relieve your worst allergy symptoms, including congestion and sinus pressure without drowsiness.
Thank you, Claritin D, for helping me live Claritin Clear.
Claritin D, now behind the pharmacy counter, still no prescription needed.
Here's a look at the weather in some cities around the country. New York, mostly sunny, 63. Miami, partly cloudy, 78. Chicago, showers, mostly cloudy, 49. Denver, thunderstorms, 55. Los Angeles, sunny, 68. Time now for a check on the national forecast. This morning's satellite picture shows a strong storm system moving into the central Rockies, where significant snow is expected. Elsewhere, strong to severe storms are continuing through parts of the Mississippi Valley. Later today, a major winter storm is expected to drop up to 2 feet of snow across portions of the Rockies. Conditions across the Midwest are expected to become active with strong to severe storms. Meantime, it will be mild and dry in the Northwest and warm in the Northeast. In sports, the Lakers suffer an embarrassing loss. Kobe Bryant's 4-game streak of 40 or more points ended last night against the Grizzlies. He finished with 23. He had a chance to tie it as time ran out, but was blocked. Grizzlies 88, Lakers 86. The Supersonics trailed the Timberwolves by as many as 25 points before Rashard Lewis took over in the fourth quarter. Lewis scored 21 of his 35 points in the final stanza. The Supersonics beat the T-Wolves 114 to 106. LeBron James led the Cavaliers against the Pacers in Indianapolis. Danny Granger got the Pacers within 1 point with a pull-up jumper. But James finished the alley-oop play to extend the lead to 6 as the Cavs clinched a playoff spot 105 to 94. Dirk Nowitzki scored 15 points as the Mavericks took on the Hornets. He put the Mavs up by 15 in the third quarter. And Josh Howard added 25 points as the Mavs beat the Hornets for the 21st straight time, 105 to 89. And in the women's NCAA tourney, Tennessee is 2 games away from a 7th national title. Candace Parker scored 24 points and collected 14 rebounds as the Vols punched their ticket to their 17th Final Four with a 98-62 defeat of Mississippi. When we return, another look at this morning's top stories, and the call for Alberto Gonzalez's ouster continues to grow.
It says here that stress can weaken our immune system.
And about 70% of our immune system is in our digestive tract.
Right. Apparently, a culture called LKCI Immunitas can help. It's clinically proven to help strengthen your body's defense system.
Only Dan Active has LKCI Immunitas.
We should try this Dan Active.
New Dan Active helps strengthen your body's defenses.
Smoking increases the number of receptors in your brain that thrive on nicotine. Take their supply away, they go mad. Nicoderm CQ weans the beasts off gradually and helps give your willpower a fighting chance.
I got something here that can help build more houses, design more decks, and help more people. Bayer Aspirin helps prevent 1 out of 3 heart attacks for people at appropriate risk. Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen. Bayer, expect wonders.
Today is our very first ever Friends of Rachel show.
And we're kicking it off with my pal Melina Kanakaridis.
You do not know about sex, you cannot talk about sex.
Then a big fat Greek supper.
Moussaka.
Moussaka. Plus, she's the fashion expert.
For you, this is a wardrobe staple.
She's the DIY queen.
We're trying to go glammy and luxe.
Now it's a makeover takeover.
This is a huge difference for her.
Today at 3 on 4.
An all-new Oprah. You're invited to the dinner of a lifetime. 4,000 roses, a fleet of limousines, 7 lucky viewers, every last detail perfect for my personal hero, Sidney Poitier. The surprise that brought this living legend to tears.
You are kidding me. Oh, my God.
Plus, bring out the gifts. An ending not to be missed. Next Oprah.
Today at 4 on 4.
On the CBS Morning News, here's a look at today's weather. A strong storm system moving through the Rockies is expected to dump up to 2 feet of snow. Conditions across the Midwest are expected to become active with strong to severe storms developing. Meanwhile, here's another look at this morning's top stories. The Senate has joined the House in approving a bill calling for the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Iraq. President Bush says he'll veto it, but it includes funding for the war. And presidential spokesman Tony Snow has been diagnosed with a relapse of cancer. He was first diagnosed with colon cancer 2 years ago. It has now spread to his liver. A suicide bomber struck this morning in Afghanistan. The bomber hit Kabul's main marketplace, setting off an explosion that killed at least 4 people. It's believed the bomber was targeting Afghanistan's intelligence chief. Pat Tillman's mother says the latest Pentagon report on her son's death raises more questions than it answers. Tillman, a former NFL star, was killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan. The Army hid the nature of his death for months. During a radio interview Tuesday, Mary Tillman said her son's death was used by the military.
This was an attempt to dupe the public and to promote this war and to get recruitments up. And that is immoral, and it's a travesty.
Tillman's family is calling for a congressional investigation. On Capitol Hill, the pressure is mounting on Attorney General Alberto Gonzales to resign, but he's resisting and instead trying to shift the focus elsewhere. Jim Axelrod reports.
Chicago made 3 cities in 2 days for Alberto Gonzales. He's trying to change the subject from fired U.S. attorneys to his child sex abuse crackdown.
It's becoming more prevalent.
But he can't get away from the scandal.
I believe in truth and accountability. Everything that I've done in connection with this matter supports that principle. I directed the release of 3,000 pages of documents. I've directed that DOJ employees go up and present testimony.
That won't be happening. His senior counselor is taking the fifth rather than testify, which isn't sitting well on Capitol Hill.
It is very, very difficult to get the facts when you have key people of the Bush-Cheney administration taking the fifth.
Each day, Gonzales loses more support in Congress. Tuesday, another top Republican said President Bush had not been well served by his attorney general.
You don't go out and remove 8 U.S. attorneys. You don't go out and remove attorneys and say that they've been removed because of incompetence. That is just plain dumb.
It's a steady drip of calls for Gonzales to quit right now. Thursday, his former chief of staff testifies on the Hill about who knew what about the firings. That's the day the drips could become a flood. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, the White House.
This morning on The Early Show, Senator John McCain weighs in on the Democratic effort to pull U.S. troops out of Iraq. I'm Meg Oliver. This is the CBS Morning News.
I don't understand why we're using the kiosk while everyone else is waiting in line.
Well, because no one knows about it yet, Mo. We're ahead of the curve.
I don't know, Al. My inner herd instinct is telling me to stay with the group.
Just stay here while I get the car.
Stay, or go. I'm gonna go.
Mo! The new kiosk from Alamo. Fight your herd instinct. Skip the line.
With Applebee's new Pick and Pair lunch combos, you take any 2 you want. Choose from soup, salad, sandwich, and pasta, starting at just $5.99.
Very dry skin struggles to repair itself. Vaseline Intensive Rescue Lotion instantly triples skin's moisture and locks it in, helping skin do something amazing. Heal itself. New Vaseline Intensive Rescue Lotion.
The International Artist Series, a non-profit organization, presents direct from Spain, Paco Peña and his Flamenco Dance Company, Saturday, March the 31st at 8 p.m. in the Jackie Gleason Theater, Miami Beach. The New York Times says extraordinary. The Los Angeles Times calls him the most universally respected flamenco guitarist today. Don't miss seeing Paco Peña and his Flamenco Dance Company, backed by popular demand, Saturday, March the 31st at 8 p.m. For tickets, call 305-643-9821 and all Ticketmaster outlets. Sponsored by Mama Jenny's Restaurant and German Motorsports.
Jim, what are you doing?
Novak. I'm filling this brand new Mercedes full of tennis balls. It's all for the Jim Berry Tennis Classic, Saturday, April 14th at the Royal Palm Tennis Club. You can be a sponsor, play in the Pro-Am, or just come on out and enjoy the free fun, all to benefit the Greater Miami Tennis and Education Foundation.
Well, what about a car?
Oh, yeah. If you go to Bill Essery Motors in Coral Gables, you'll see a car just like this, chock full of tennis balls. Make your guess on how many are inside, and you can win a big prize. The Jim Berry Tennis Classic, brought to you by these sponsors.
Berlin is in love with Canute. Since the baby polar bear made headlines, thousands have turned out at the Berlin Zoo Tuesday to see him. Canute was raised by humans after his mother rejected him at birth. Some animal activists said he should have been allowed to die, but zookeepers fought to keep him alive. In South Africa, meanwhile, one woman has devoted her life to saving endangered tigers. But this is not the average conservation program. It involves animals that were moved across continents. Lara Logan reports.
Meet Tiger Woods. Not the golfer, obviously, but a pretty impressive cat in his own right.
He's huge. He is huge. And he's only 2.
This Tiger Woods and his famously named pals, Madonna and Cathay, are all South China tigers, the most endangered species of big cat in the world today. Li Quan is breaking all the rules of conservation to try to save their dying breed.
If we don't do anything drastic, they may go extinct forever.
Li's drastic plan is to take these zoo-raised animals from Asia and put them in an environment in Africa where they can learn to be wild again. When Li saw the poor conditions in which these tigers were living in China 5 years ago, she devoted herself full-time to the cause and launched an ambitious dream to save this Asian tiger in South Africa, where no tigers exist in the wild. Moving wild animals is always a risky business, especially when you bring them halfway across the world. But this project has attracted particularly strong criticism from some cat experts who say there are too few South China tigers left and too many risks to be gambling with the future of an entire species.
Okay, when I blow the whistle, open the gate, please. Let them through.
The tiger's chief handler, Peter Openshaw, had his doubts at first, but now believes the open spaces and wildlife expertise in South Africa can save these Asian tigers. Openshaw initially had to hunt for them. After spending their lives in a zoo, these tigers had never even eaten wild meat and thought the dead animal was a toy. Now, when Openshaw drops a carcass in a field and blows his whistle, within seconds, the tigers rush across the grasslands, ready to pounce. After 3 years, Tiger Woods and the others are successfully able to hunt for themselves.
The end goal of the project is actually to reintroduce the Chinese tigers back to where they come from. That means the Chinese wild.
Getting to the Chinese wild via South Africa may be a roundabout way, but to Li Quan, it's better than no way at all. Lara Logan, CBS News, Lahu Valley Reserve, South Africa.
That's the CBS Morning News for this Wednesday. Thank you for being here with us. We hope you'll join us later for The Early Show. I'm Meg Oliver. Have a great day.
For news 24 hours a day, log on to cbsnews.com. CBS News. See it now, anytime, anywhere.
Coming up, it's tax time and Uncle Sam wants your money. But in a special series, we've got critical advice and winning strategies to help you reduce your taxes on The Early Show.
Tonight, exploring how cancer spreads and the truth about research funding. All in Cancer, Cures, Costs, and Controversies on the CBS Evening News and on The Early Show.
Jericho, CBS Tonight.